Hey guys, I'm Acelegin. I hate the sound of my own voice, and you're watching this. So for almost 2 years now, I've been working on and off on a video game titled Dark Subconscious. And a few weeks ago, I thought to myself, you know what, Ace? You've procrastinated long enough on this. I will have this done by Halloween. And I somehow managed to pull that off. Anyway, I'm making this video to try and explain the game. It is really fucking confusing, and I apologize for that. So this game is part of the Fear mythos and ties into several other stories that I've written. So in the game's universe, there's several eldritch abominations called fears. One of them, the Archangel, is the fear of religion and is the physical embodiment of the afterlife. It claims the souls of everything that dies. Then there's a character named Daniel Ferris, who's a rare type of person called a devil killer. He possesses several abilities made for combating the fears, and one of those abilities is that, like the Archangel, he's able to claim the souls of the dead, either by stealing them directly from the Archangel or by getting them before the Archangel does. And any souls that Daniel absorbs end up inside of his subconscious realm, which happens to be a giant flying pirate ship called the Tantalus. So another thing Daniel can do is he can form a bridge between his conscious and subconscious minds, allowing him to enter his subconscious realm or communicate with the people there. As I said, very confusing. So prior to the game's events, he loses that power, and the residents of his subconscious soul place thingy notice that they can't talk to him anymore. So a bunch of them band together to explore his mind and try to figure out what the hell is up. I hope all of that made some level of sense. Anyway, let's talk characters. There are 8 main protagonists in the game. The main character is Justin Fearon. He is actually an old friend of Daniel's until he sort of joined a gang and got gunned down by thugs. But they patched that thing up, I guess. Anyway, Justin possesses some of the Archangel's dark powers, which gives him access to some dark-based attacks, and he wields scythes as his weapon of choice. He's a pretty balanced character with some emphasis on physical attack power. And the next character is named Quan, which is a name I completely made up and I'm pretty sure isn't actually a real thing. And, why are you... Oh, okay. What? Okay, so anyway, Quan is a former Slender Man servant, and he possesses super strength, making him the game's tank, basically. He equips fist weapons, and his skills focus on increasing his attack power and dishing out a lot of damage. And then the next character is Algeria Touchshriek, which isn't her real name. She's a member of an organization that names themselves after David Bowie songs. She's a gunslinger who uses special bullets that inflict fire and ice-based damage, so she's basically the Black Mage. Then there's the White Mage Carla. She has healing powers and stuff. Next there's the Faceless Bastard, who doesn't actually belong to me. He belongs to a fellow Fear Mythos member, the Somnambulist, who was kind enough to let me use him. In life, Faceless was a servant of a fear called the Convocation, which is basically a hive mind of lightning birds. He was a mass murderer in life, and in this game he's sort of the token evil teammate. He fights with machetes and other lightweight swords, and he can summon replicas of the Convocation called Dream Birds, which let him use some lightning and wind-based attacks. He's kind of similar to Justin as far as fighting styles go, He's got a good balance of physical and magical attacks, although he focuses more on speed and DPS, where Justin goes more for power. Then we've got the Nameless One, who belongs to Attic, who said I could use this guy. He was a servant of a fear called the Unnamed Child, who sort of made him forget his actual identity, so no one actually knows what his real name is, not even himself. Ah, shit. There's a typo in my script. I mean, what script? I'm a professional. I don't need a script. There is definitely not a script open in front of me right now that I am reading. That would just be silly. He's a chess expert, he can use his strategic skills to boost the defense of himself and his teammates, effectively making him the meat shield. He can equip shields, and he fights using chess pieces somehow. Don't ask me how that works, because I have no idea either. Then there's the Hound, who was lent to me by No Fourth Wall. He is a former servant, there's a lot of those, of the Plague Doctor, who is the fear of diseases and such. As such, the Hound focuses on inflicting and removing status effects, and his weapons of choice are two-handed swords and katanas, because I need at least one guy who can use katanas. And finally, we have Zeke, the team speedster. He belongs to Phobos. He can equip knives and handguns, and though he's got a low strength, he can attack repeatedly and has good critical hit potential, and he occasionally inflicts heavily bleeding wounds. So yeah, that's all the characters. You can only use 4 at a time because this is an RPG Maker game, and that's how RPG Maker games work. So this is a turn-based strategy and will involve a lot of exploration of various worlds and stuff. And that's all I really have to say right now. If you have any more questions, just leave them below and I'll get to them. There's a link to the game in the description below if you're interested. There's also a TV Tropes page if you want to check that out. Feedback is welcome and stuff. Again, I'm sorry about how confusing the plot is. I'm a very weird storyteller. I'm basically a Nazi on acid. Also, I apologize for any typos in the game. I think I cleared all of them up, but I probably missed a bunch, so I'm sorry for that. Anyway, have fun and see you later.